And we're going, buddy.
Hell yeah. What are we, episode 6?
This is episode 6, yeah.
Yeah, 6 of my podcast, His Man Cave. I'm Glenn Stewart.
I'm Johnny Gates.
And hell yeah.
This is Danny Glover.
And
He's cold.
He's cold?
He's cold. That's why he's wearing his beanie today. Sun was out, so he's got his shades.
Yeah?
It's my guy.
That's your guy?
It's my guy. I love that thing. You don't like him.
I do.
Do you?
I
He's
do.
growing on you?
He's yeah, he's growing on me.
Dude, I love that thing. Somebody gave me that a while back. I love it. My wife hates it. But it's like the Van Winkle, you know.
Yeah.
My wife and I have two totally different tastes in art. If it was up to her, there wouldn't be a picture on the wall because she'd like, fuck it, who cares?
Well, see, I bought a piece of artwork that I told you I was going to bring over here.
Right.
And my wife fucking hates it. And I bought it because a friend of mine was selling artwork, and then I walked up and I'm like, oh,
you're good. Sorry about
that's
that.
a nice
I thought I had it
setup.
turned off.
It's a nice set of boobs, you know, for this fucking piece. And I was like, oh, I want that one. And the artist was like, nah, you can't have that. And it dawned on me that they've got to be her tits. That's
yeah. Is that why your wife doesn't like it? It's because she knows the person whose tits they are?
She knows the tits, but I left there with them, so that's all that matters. I can't. But I like it, and I mean, it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh my god, those are really great. It's more that it's an awkward pose, and it's just like
it's a painting, though, right?
Yeah, it's a painting.
Yeah.
But what it is it's an awkward pose, and it's not like a traditional like, oh my god, that's a badass pose. That's more like, oh, it looks more like she's hurting.
It's cup size.
Yeah. What's the cup size on them?
Cup size.
Like A cup.
Oh, they're little titties.
Little titties.
You can see Bertha back there. She got some knockers on her, man. She's thick,
Well,
thick as cold peanut butter.
I don't know if you've never seen my wife in person.
I thought you were about to say naked. I was going to say no. I have not.
my wife.
I have not seen your wife. In person
I am a card-toting member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. I'm a fan.
Your wife is little in stature.
Yes.
Frame. She's
104 pounds.
Little bitty gal.
Yeah. I invested, but I don't know if you know about boob depreciation.
You mean gravity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I invested. Yes. I invested.
Do you know about baby boob depreciation? Gravity and sucking on them?
Yeah, not yet.
It does something to the nipple that just can't be described.
All I'm going to tell you is, my point is, I invested in a long-term investment.
That's why you got the the little gals.
That way, if it's just a kid yanking on them, it's not double the yank.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Nature's yank is a unforgiving yank.
Oh man, she is a unruly bitch.
You know, that's what I make a joke on stage about. My ball game is the worst it's ever been, just because I've lost all the weight and gravity's taken over.
They touched the toilet bowl water yet?
Every time.
Oh, that's so bad.
I know.
Jesus.
Do
some Kegel exercises or something. So
there's nothing you can do to bring your nuts up.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
What kind of underwear you wear?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. All right. Well,
I'm trying.
Keeps them in there. When you first started, did you used to be a boxer guy or something like that?
No,
I think everybody was.
I think everybody, whenever we were kids, was a whitey tighty guy. Like you had no choice. That's what your mom bought you.
Yeah.
And then like I remember we went to the boxers, but I'm really weird about the cloth. Like I want fucking cotton. I don't want those the cardboard ones you sell at Walmart that they're starched already.
You gotta wash them. You gotta wash them before you wear them. One of those.
You know, they're not good for backups.
You know what I didn't like about boxers? Because I'm a boxer brief guy too.
Yeah.
Is whenever we were playing basketball when I was a kid, my balls would slap my leg hard.
Yeah, that's
there's a funny story about my testicles slapping my leg.
I didn't like the fact that if you sat down too quickly, you could mush it. Yeah. No.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm really glad our listeners are getting to know this about us. I mean, you know,
dude, when I first started wearing boxer briefs, I got headaches because my balls were not used to being compressed like that, and I went straight in for like the best.
I've never heard of a nut headache.
Dude, I went in with the best of the best. I was getting those Under Armour ones that have the ball pocket that your cock and balls just kind of like fit into, and it keeps them all snug and compressed and tightened together. It's fantastic, but it takes some getting used to. When you're not used to it and everything is in there together, it takes some getting used to.
Well, whenever, like, me and you've talked about me losing weight and shit.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only way I can describe it is that when you lay down, it's like, imagine you had a big bowl of pudding and you hit it with a leaf blower. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like is going on, and it's just like, so my boxers are having to work overtime with just catching all this extra, and so it's great.
Reinforced seams.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. And the thing is, everybody's like, what was the worst part about losing the weight? And you know what the God's honest truth was? Fucking chub rub. Because I was heavy when I started. I was almost 400. At chub rub, it's where your thighs rub together and you get that badass heat rash.
Yeah.
Because you're
Get
trying
the bubbles on the inside of your leg.
What are you trying to do? I'm trying to better myself. Here's a heat rash, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's when you invest in Fresh Balls.
Yeah.
If you've never
Shout
heard
out.
of it, shout out to Fresh Balls.
I've actually been looking into a lot more of these wonderful products you tell me about.
Dude, Fresh Balls is the shit. I mean, they're not a sponsor of this podcast in any way,
Well,
shape,
see,
or
I was
form.
a Johnson & Johnson baby powder guy.
I used to use them when I was hiking, and then I was introduced to Fresh Balls. It's a lotion that dries as a powder, and you can get it everywhere.
You can get it everywhere.
And not have to, like, be an acrobat.
Oh.
You know,
That's
hey,
all.
honey, come in here and let me put my feet on the shower and my other one on the counter, and you sprinkle my tank with powder for me if you don't mind. You don't have to do that. You can just get right in there.
You know what I found was the best for that? One of those old makeup fluffs.
Yeah.
Just
What I used to do is, hold on, I'm gonna do it. So what I used to do, I swear to God, is I'd stand in the bathtub, and I had a little one, like one of those little containers, and I would open it up and I would fill it to capacity, close it, and then stand there and like, and squeeze it as hard as I could, and it was all, just wherever it landed. All right, I hope I'm good. That is not a joke.
No.
Because you can't really roll over and lay on your back and get it. It's a little awkward.
Yeah, I mean, and like, you know, if your wife catches you.
That's the joy of the relationship that I have is, I mean, there ain't no catching. If I needed some help with something like that, all I got to do is say, hey, babe, there's no shame. You think I joke when I say, I shit with the door open?
Well, no, there's no shame in my relationship either. My wife walked in the bathroom the other day, and I have this ungodly, I don't like body hair. I've never been a big fan, and my thing is like I don't
nice beard.
Well, no, I'm talking about like below the neck.
I guess that is facial hair. Excuse me.
But I don't like back hair. And so she'll catch me in there and she'll smell that nair going, and but the problem is I don't tan, so I just look like a fucking turkey before fucking cook it.
What's that?
It's ridiculous.
What was that dude's name? Powder.
It's like I'm tri-toned. I'm so fucked because I've got like the farmer's tan on the shoulders. My neck is darker than anything, and then my body is just this pale, unseasoned turkey.
And if you're anything like me, your dick is one of the tannest things that's ever seen this earth.
Look, you were talking.
The hell was that? Did you hear that?
No,
I didn't hear nothing.
It must be a ghost.
Must be.
But
talking about groceries. Anyway.
No, I used to make a joke on stage where the pellest motherfucker on the planet, his dick looks like it gets the most sun.
Like all he does is just leave it out during the day.
Like it was enough to scare me because I started tanning a few weeks ago, and I was like, how dark is my nutsack gonna get?
You can start sending sex pictures. Be like, honey, that's not mine. That's a black guy.
That's some other guy.
Clearly, that's a black man's penis. Well, what about the size, Glenn? All right, you got me. It's mine.
Look, I'm going to be the first one to say it on our podcast. Black guys have small dicks, too.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I am sure they do.
So we're supposed to be talking about ghost stories.
Speaking about black guys with small dicks, did you see there's a Coming to America 2 coming?
No.
Coming to America Part 2.
I hear everybody's on board, so yes, I've heard about it.
Dude,
even James Earl Jones, they were talking about him having to, and they were going over the writing of it and everything, and there's just stuff that he's like, James Earl Jones, everything you see I own, but he was like, that's Mufasa. But he looks at Eddie and he's like, yeah, that's too dirty. I'm not gonna say that. Like,
whoa, how dirty are they getting?
I don't know, but he was like, James Earl Jones. He's James Earl Jones. He can. He
better die early on in the movie then.
Why? No, I think.
So that way they can get it as dirty as they.
Well, no, he doesn't care about the rest of the film being dirty. He's talking about what's coming out of his mouth.
Gotcha.
Look, and I can respect that.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, he is Mufasa.
Yeah, he's Mufasa.
Well, I know because that first one is fucking hilarious.
It is a very good movie.
It's one of the most quoted movies that I think we've ever, like in my life, quoted.
Well,
it's like that. That's beautiful. What is that? Velvet? Dude, that old man, that old Jewish man, that's it's
Eddie Murphy
or whatever. Dude, that shit is so funny. What is it? Waiter comes over with the soup, and he says, "Hey, waiter, taste my soup. What is there, fly in the soup? No, taste the soup. What is the soup too hot? No, taste the soup. What is the soup too cold? Taste the soup. Where's the spoon? Aha!" I'm telling you, that made me cry the first time I ever heard it.
Ah, man.
I was in tears. Aha!
I'm not going to lie to you. Whenever he did, like, the Nutty Professor movies.
The first one was great.
First one was great. And that's the thing is, I used to.
Only white man that made me moist was Mike Douglas.
But no, I'm just saying, whenever like Sherman and Denise, wedding. Hercules.
Dude, that shit's so great.
Hercules.
Take the skin off the chicken because that's where all the fat is at.
I like it when the dad's out sitting there. He's like, colonoscopy. I gotta go in and just fucking
cleanse my colon right now.
So fucking funny. It was such a fucking funny
Oh,
movie.
look, that made me shit myself.
Now look what you did. But
look what you did.
And then like we were on a camping trip one night, and we had like some raccoons were coming down the tree, and somebody was like, "Oh, the coons are getting in the trash," and I'm like, "Cletus, the coons are getting in the trash. Well, shoot the damn dogs!" Like just
shoot the damn dogs.
I ain't shooting the damn dog, but it was so fucking funny. And I think we're getting away from good comedy.
Sorry, yeah, we did drift.
No, not. I'm talking about like in the movies nowadays.
Oh, I thought you meant our conversation. My apologies.
No. I think that this podcast talks about it all. So but the thing is I love. Do you remember Stuart Smalley? Stuart Saves His Family. Whenever it was, what's his name? Shit, he was on Saturday Night Live forever.
Oh,
but,
him?
Yeah, but that was a funny movie.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Just look it up. It's another. But I mean, I mean, talking about laugh until I cry.
Have you seen the preview for this movie called $1? Mm-mm. It's the story of $1. I want to watch it. It looks pretty cheesy, but it was filmed here.
Oh, okay.
So I will watch anything that's filmed here.
You will support it.
I love, like, I started watching The Sopranos, and in the opening scene of The Sopranos, he's coming out of that the tunnel that goes over into Jersey.
Yeah.
I was on the other side of that tunnel and, like, stuck in traffic for a few minutes. So I know exactly where he's at. And when I see stuff like that, it triggers something in my brain that just excites me because I've been there. Like, oh, fuck, I know where that's at. And that's what I like about watching movies from Shreveport.
See, whenever...
Like, oh, fuck, I know that house. I know that street.
I know that, like, me personally, like, everybody, you know, I don't know how every comic is or anything like that, but I know with me personally, the shit that I listen to all day is I like to listen to, like, real stories from gangsters that made it through. And
you ever listen to that Dirty John story?
No.
Dude.
I will look that up.
Dude.
But I'm talking about, like, what was it, The Bull.
Never heard of it.
No, the guy is something, The Bull. Now my brain's gone blank. Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull.
Gravano.
Okay, mob boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Underboss.
Underboss.
And what I like
Underboob.
No, he was so fucking funny about it because he's sitting there and they're like, "Did you ever want to be the boss?" He's like, "No, I was happy being an underboss." Like, I mean, they're like, "You didn't have any," like, they're like, "You didn't have anything about running the show." He's like, "No."
Those are usually the best bosses.
He's like, "No."
The ones that don't want to do it, then it gets thrusted upon them.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is he was never trying. You know, he was like the underboss to John Gotti and everything like that. And he was talking about, like, with Gotti throwing him under the bus and all this other shit, that whenever Gotti died, they showed him a picture of John Gotti, and they were like, "Hey, look, do you see this?" And he's like, "Who is that?" And they're like, he's like, "That's John Gotti. He's dead." And they thought he would be excited, and he's like, "Why would you fucking show me that? I'm not happy about that. We were like brothers before. Yeah, he fucked me over, but we were like brothers."
Right.
You know, and the fact that he had shriveled up to completely different than what he looked because of cancer and everything.
Oh.
So he was like,
I thought you were going that he was going to say that it wasn't him that they killed.
No, but it was just him being like, "What the fuck? That's not even cool." You know,
yeah.
like even though there was bad blood, I don't want to see anybody suffer like that, which is weird.
Especially not somebody I did love.
Yeah, like coming out of the mouth of a guy that has made people no longer alive.
Hey, man, shit happens.
Well, I mean, you know.
If you can't swim with fishes, well, then you drown. You know what I mean?
Funny story.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoa.
So
funny story and drowning?
No,
right.
So we used to go fishing all the time off of Cross Lake and stuff. And a friend of mine, we would get fucking shit-faced and sit on this pier over at Richard Fleming Park, and we'd just sit there fishing. And one night he's like, Glenn, I know what the problem is. We're not singing. And I'm like, what? That doesn't sound like, you don't make a lot of noise. And all of a sudden he's like, and we're swimming with the fishes and Luca Brasi.
What the fuck?
All of a sudden his pole dove down. And he catches this fucking fish, and I look at him, he's like, see, it's all about singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's never worked since.
Every time Glenn goes fishing, I picture him doing, why men great till they gotta be great? Don't text me. No, doesn't work that way?
Mm-mm.
You ever go fishing?
I do.
Regularly or?
I go pretty regular,
Yeah,
but I'm a bobber guy. I'm not trying to catch a bass.
Yeah, my stepdad recently bought a boat, and he's been asking me to go out. I need to.
I don't want to bass fish. Like, I respect anybody that can convince a bass,
Yeah.
but I have no interest in working that hard. Reel and throw and reel and throw and throw and reel and throw and reel and whoop, I'm out of fish. I missed it.
That was beautiful. I like that. That was nice. Sounds like we found our intro.
So in our comment section,
yes.
somebody asked what happened to my finger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we really want to know. So we're going to go ahead and let you know. It was my cousin's birthday party, and my cousin-in-law to be, my cousin's future husband, got a little tipsy, and there was a little bit of a ruckus, fisticuffs of such, and my other cousin takes him outside, and then there was more, so I go out there, and I just kind of held him to the ground, and I heard the phrase, you ain't never got a cowboy like me, followed by the sound of my finger breaking, and I was like, hey guys, I think he broke my fucking finger. And my cousin's like, no, it's pointing at the house. And then he's like, you should probably let him go. And I'm like, I don't fucking think so.
Not now.
Yeah, he broke my fucking finger,
Yeah.
and not one of y'all's hit the motherfucker yet. And then the cops came up, and they're like, look at your finger. You should press charges. I'm like, nah, his family was drunk. He was drinking. I mean, I'm permanently disfigured. But, hey, you know, but the best part was, like, so I go into the hospital, and whenever the finger was originally like that, okay? The doctor's like, what's the problem? And I put my hand up, and I said, see, I've been with her for 6 years. She's not used to that finger business anymore.
There it is. Yep. I tried the old...
The whole iron twat broke me. So what happened was a little drunken family thing, and now I have this finger that looks like I took a fucking curse for Harry Potter in the 5th book.
I told you what it looks like to me.
Yeah, it looks like, I know, it looks like a jet.
It's like a fighter jet cockpit.
The best part is like this. I can be like, dun, 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 dun. Like I could take minutes in a courtroom now.
Oh.
I'd be really good on a telegraph.
Think so? Motherfucker, you got to learn Morse code first. Anyway, got an open mic tonight.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Bears.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to go.
I'm still debating.
Well, you know.
And it's got nothing to do with anything but...
You know, well, you're a family man, you're good at it, and, you know, your family actually likes you. I have nothing to live for, so I'm going to go and waste my time.
No, it's not a waste of time. I'd like to go. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm fucking tired.
Well, hey, look, that's, you know, and that's, hey, all the up-and-coming open micers and comics, look, some days you're just not in it to fucking win it. Yeah. Plus, we got an open mic tomorrow, too, so.
Oh, there's one at Barkwood
I think
tomorrow?
so, yeah.
All right, cool.
So what I'm saying is...
Damn, that makes me feel bad, because I mean, the Bears one is fantastic.
Right. They always have a
but
good
the
crowd.
downside to the Bears
Shout
one,
out to Molly for really cultivating a good scene.
I talked to her. She's going to be... She said she'd do it. She'd come on the show.
She's going to come on the show?
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Figured out. I also talked to Mickey today, and I'd like to get him on here before he gets out of town, because you know he's moving.
Yeah, I know.
So, but
they're Air Forcing him to, what,
yeah.
North Dakota or Montana or some bumfuck
Siberia,
nowhere.
Fuck, I don't know. Somewhere cold and
somewhere where well, hey, the women are big. He'll love it.
Hey, he likes big women?
He does.
I didn't know that.
I think he likes any women at this point.
I can respect that.
You know?
But no, I'd like to get him on here and talk to him before he leaves.
Oh, yeah. I know Tyler Blanchard. He's a local guy. He said he'd come and shoot the shit with us. And
Pimp Smooth.
Man, fucking Muscles McGillicuddy. Even though me and you totally put him on blast that night, he said he wouldn't blow Brad Pitt. He's a fucking liar.
Oh, he's a liar.
Like, I remember that's the first time I've ever heard you interrupt anybody when you're like, you're fucking lying.
Yeah, you're so full of shit. Your eyes are brown, sir.
Brad Pitt could walk in right now and be like, somebody get on this meat sickle, and the game is on.
Like, shit. Okay. It's Brad Pitt. What are you talking about?
Pitt.
What are you talking about?
My mother said something funny about that. She was like, yeah, but then you'd have to worry about tasting Angelina. I'm like,
Ugh.
ugh.
Now that she said that, you're out, Brad.
Like the minute.
Get out.
And there's my mom. She brings that rational.
Man, that sucks. That was my work calling.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not answering it right this
Okay.
second. I'll call him back in a minute. We'll edit that out and post when I call back in a minute.
Well, I mean,
How about I text them and see if
Yeah.
they need anything?
yeah, make sure. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
So we really originally wanted to kind of talk about not podcast. I'm being an asshole because I'm
Conspiracies
distracted
and
by my
ghost
phone.
stories.
Yeah, conspiracy theories and ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
It
you got?
was October. So, I mean, sometimes, like, have you ever had ghost shit happen?
I have.
Okay, so look, so me too. Now, when the weirdest thing is I used to have this recurring nightmare and I know we just like switched right into this,
Right.
but so I used to have this recurring nightmare, and in the dream, I'd be in this little fucking bumfuck town, and it was in all, you know, that blue gray screen they use in horror movies
Yeah.
where shit's about to jump out and get you.
Yeah.
So in the dream, I'd be walking around, and all of my friends are laying on the fucking ground, and they're just fucking knocked out, right? And so
Can you tell if they're alive or dead?
they're alive.
Okay.
They're not dead, but they're
Alright.
just like frozen, petrified. And then I'd be walking, and then there'd be like this one black fucking area somewhere, and you would see like these bloodshot, gross fucking eyes, this big fucking bloody grin full of sharp fucking teeth, and this gurgled just laugh, just kind of bullshit, you know? And I would wake up, and I'd be in cold sweats, and I'd be fucking like screaming. It scared the shit out of me. And I don't know what it was, but it was like this fear that whatever it was going to get my ass. Now, I had a girlfriend at the time that when I would have this dream, I had it for like 30 days in a row, and she stayed over like 2 nights. But those 2 nights, when I would have the dream, she said it would look like something physically. It would feel like somebody picked me up in the bed and threw my ass down. It'd wake her up because, I mean, I'm a big boy. So I don't tell anybody about the dream. She's the only one that knows about it. I have the dream, and it's like the 30th day in a row that I have it, and then all of a sudden, you know, in my cocky bravado, machismo bullshit, I go, you know what, I'm fucking tired of this, and I call whatever the fuck it is out, and I'm like, look, you want some of this, come and get some, you know, and the whole fucking dream goes solid black, and the thing's right here, and I can feel the fucking breath on my face. I remember it vividly, and I woke up fucking running, like out the fucking door, and then my fucking house phone rings. For those of you that are young, a house phone was it was a phone that was attached to a
Everyone's house.
landline.
Yes. Me
Anyway,
and my son were talking about that the other day.
and it's so my friend's out of breath, and he's like, Glenn, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, I just had this horrible dream, and he describes my dream like just matter of fact, minute by minute, and he goes, but it was from his point of view, and he said, I come around the corner, and I don't know what the fuck had you, but something had you in the air, and you were screaming this blood-curdling scream.
Wow.
So I tell my grandmother about it, who's a good Catholic that drinks. And she's like, baby, you got something coming after you.
Yeah, you got demons inside you, boy.
And so she gave
Bless
me,
your
so
heart.
if you walk in my house, there's a copper crucifix that's over my doorway.
Yeah.
Because, and it worked. But the funny thing is I only had that dream in this room. I was staying with my grandmother. This was in high school. And I was staying with her. And I asked her, I said, did anything ever fucking weird happen in that bedroom? And she's like, yeah. Why do you think I don't stay in there?
Well, thanks for putting me in there, Nana.
And I'm like, Mama, what the fuck? And she goes, well, that was, my great-grandmother was an evil Pentecostal woman, and she was mean as shit, a little sawed-off Indian lady. And she was just mean. And so when my friends would stay over, they'd feel like something touched their face, and the fucking, like, door would open and shit. And so the weird shit happened. And I asked my grandmother about it, and she's like, yeah, I thought it was somebody torturing me. I didn't think it would bother you.
Bitch.
Now, this is the reason, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's how you talk to your grandma.
Yeah.
And she looks at me, and she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, your mother walked up to my mother when I was born, because I was born out of wedlock. She looks at my mom, and she goes, do you know what he is?
Bastard.
No, hang on.
Oh.
Look, quit jumping the gun on the joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because it's not a joke. This is a real story. Anyway, she goes, do you know what he's called? And my mom's like, a beautiful baby. She's like, no, a bastard. And my mother slaps the shit out of my great-grandmother. And then it's about the same time my grandma's walking in, and she's like, Rosie, oh my God, she's beating me, she's beating me. And my grandmother, without missing a beat, goes, well, what'd you do to her?
What'd you say? Yeah.
And she tells her, and she's like, I slapped the shit out of you too.
It's fucked up.
Your turn for the ghost story.
The only, I've had quite a few different experiences. We've got a ghost here that I've talked about.
At your house?
Yeah, we call him, oh, Jesus Christ, what is the dude's name? Sam Elliott.
So he looks like a cowboy?
He looks like, have you ever seen the movie Tombstone?
Mm-hmm.
He looks just like Sam Elliott's character in Tombstone.
Does he ever ask you stuff like beef?
He's never asked me
What's
what was
for
for dinner, nothing like that.
Oh, man. I wish he would.
I don't want him talking to me. But he,
Like, what if you brought salmon in there, and he's like, we eat beef.
we eat beef in this house. You get that pork out of here.
Get the fuck
No, but what he does is, I'm not going to say he tortures us by any means, but what he does is he moves pictures.
Oh, and you're OCD about
Tilts
pictures.
them. Yes. Like I have, and
What
it's,
an asshole.
dude, and yeah. So, and I have sticky rubber stuff on the back of all my things to make that stop. And he still does. That's how I know, like, it's legit. It's not just the
So it's
house
not your
settling.
kids fucking with you?
No. No. So because, all right, so when we first got this house, I lived here for like a month by myself working on it.
Yeah.
And I was painting one night, and it's fucking late, and I was in there with oil-based paint, and I was high on paint fumes, you know what I mean? And I was out here smoking a cigarette, like just trying to get some fresh air. And
This is before you quit smoking.
Yeah. And I was standing there, and I turned around, and I looked back in the window, and there he is standing at my kitchen sink, looking out the window at me.
And he's like a 6-foot-tall specter.
Yeah, solid black outfit,
shit.
big black hat. You can't see his face. You can kind of make out that he's got like facial hair, like a big mustache, because you can kind of see the outer, like you can see like this part of his face.
Right.
So, and the people that are just listening, you can really kind of see like his chin and his upper cheeks. You can't see his eyes. You can't really see
But a
his mouth.
good-looking ghost.
But
if he looks like Sam Elliott,
Tall,
that's a good-looking
tall,
ghost.
skinny fella, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm fucked up on paint fumes, and I turn around, and I just don't look back through the window for a while. You know what I'm saying? And then that was that. Well, throughout that month, I saw him a couple of more times, you know, and I just put it off to like me being sleep deprived, tired, because I was working full-time job, trying to work on this house, working till, you know, midnight, 1 o'clock, doing this, that, and the other, getting up, going to work, blah, blah. So I just took it as I was tired. Well, I stained and clear coated the floors.
So you're high again.
Potentially.
Potentially.
But-
Allegedly.
But when I did the floors, I put a fan in the living room and pointed it out the front window.
Yeah.
Screen's still on. And
Right.
you can't take the screen off from the outside. I mean, I'm sure you could if you tried, but you'd bend the screen up trying to take it off.
You'd fuck it up.
You have to take it out from the inside. So I've got this fan, a box fan, set up in the window.
Yeah.
And we had already stained the floors, and we had clear coated them.
Right.
And letting them dry.
Mm-hmm.
Overnight, when I get up the next morning, there's footprints in my floor from the window into the kitchen and back.
Oh, hell no.
Fan not disturbed, screen not disturbed,
Just fucking footprints.
just footprints across I had to wet sand them out of my floor.
I'm going to be honest with you. Your ghost is a douchebag.
So hold on, it gets a little better.
So, guy's
So
a fucking asshole.
fast forward a little while.
Sam Elliott's ghost, you're rude.
Well, fast forward a little while.
Does
And-
he get ruder?
Fast forward a little while, and I'll be brushing my teeth, and I'll see him walk down the hallway. You know, you'll get up in the morning, and you go, and you'll see him walking in the living room. You know, you catch glimpses of him, like
Yeah.
just glimpses of him. Well, one night Jonah's sick, my little one. He's not feeling good at all, and he's in there laying down in our bed, and he just starts crying. And I go in there, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? And he won't talk to me. So Emily goes in there, and she's like, what's up? And he's like, that man is messing with me. And she said, what man? And he said, that man keeps messing with me. She checks him, makes sure he doesn't have a fever. So, you know, because we thought maybe he was just fever hallucination.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's that.
Maybe he got in the paint thinner.
He says it a few times that the man was messing
Right.
with him. Finally, he goes to sleep. That's that. A couple days later, my wife's watching The Ranch, and she said, and Jonah says, that's the man that was messing with me, Mama, and points at Sam Elliott.
Oh, no.
So we're like, oh, shit, okay, 2 + 2 is equaling 4 here. So I'm like, hey, Sam, I don't know what your real name is, but I will find, and I say this in the living room. I was like, I don't know what your real name is, but I will find out what it is. I will find your closest living relative, and I will go punch them in the fucking twat. You know,
Stay away from my fucking
I
kid.
will find out what's going on. Turn my pictures. Mess with me all you want. Mess with my kids one more time. We got a problem. Pictures didn't move for like 4 months, and then they just started moving again. But I hadn't seen him in a while. Pictures just keep getting moved.
Yeah. Well,
So he's
you
back.
know.
He's back up to his old ways. And I think, because when we normally see him,
Yeah.
like what seems to have a correlation is when we do work on the house.
Oh, okay.
Like I do something to the house and you see him, and I got a really good feeling that we'll never see him again once I change that front door. Because I found out what the name is, and it's Mr. Wynn, the guy that used to own this house.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure.
Well, I've got one that it's more of it's like, now when I say this, it's going to sound like somebody made this shit up, but I can't make this shit up. Like, I'm talking about, it scared the fuck out of me. So, my grandfather was a very angry human being. He was a biker, had biker friends, and for some odd reason, he had this cat come up on his property, and he called it Mama Cat, and it was the only animal that we've ever seen him, like, get really comfortable with, you know? Like, he was actually nice to it, because he just wasn't just a huggy kind of guy.
Right.
He was pissed off because he lost his legs and everything else. So he was just naturally in a bad mood. I mean, he's done some shit in his life. Like, I remember when I was a kid, he let me and my brother go outside and play with hatchets. And my brother ended up losing the tip of his toe because,
a very serious case of someone being cut in half.
Yeah, so it was a weird childhood. But anyway, so he dies.
Hold on, let me ask you this. Do the men in your family have problems with their fingers regularly? That's another one of your family members.
The only one that has lost a finger is my brother. And he was remember when washing machines didn't have a safety switch for spin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, his shirt got caught around it and just plucked it right the fuck off.
Shit.
Yeah, so
my mom used to warn me that rip your arm off. I never believed her.
So my brother would do this thing where he'd stick the nub in his nose, but then
It looks like his fingers.
But then he started this fucking rumor that I got hungry and bit the motherfucker off.
Fat boy ate my finger.
Yeah. So like that.
Fat boy was hungry. Mama said
fucking
finger foods were in the kitchen.
Middle school was awesome.
I'm sorry. I made you drift away from your ghost story.
No, so we're sitting there and we lived in his old trailer that he had in Keachai in the middle of nowhere, and he had passed, and the cat, he had always said if that fucking bitch ever gets pregnant, he'd kill her, right? So, but he wasn't going to pay to get her fixed. It was just that old mentality of, well, I'll handle it my way. She gets pregnant, okay?
After he's dead.
After he's dead.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that it was him. Okay, because I'm going to be honest with you. There are people to this day that would be terrified if they thought he would come back, okay? So we're out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know if you've lived out in the middle of nowhere.
I have.
You keep a light on so people think you're home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a house without lights on is an easily robbed house.
Right.
So anyway, we locked all the shit up, and we made sure that the male cat was outside because, male cat will kill the babies. And his name was Elmo. Anyway, he's outside. When we get home, there's not a fucking light on in this house at all. And the male cat is out front losing its fucking mind. I mean, he is trying to get in that house so bad. He's losing it. He follows us to the backyard, to the back doors where we came in, and he's just fucking trying to get in there, right? We go in there. None of the light switches are fucking working. Nothing's working. All of a sudden, we get a flashlight out, and we realize that every light bulb in the house is blown the fuck out.
Like bulb shattered?
Just glass everywhere.
Wow.
When we finally changed the light bulbs, right, we turned some lights on, and the kittens are ripped apart and thrown all over the fucking house. Like kitten arms, head, it just ripped, gutted everywhere. I mean, like all like splattered on the fucking walls kind of shit. The mother cat is in the corner of the living room, and all she's doing is she's wide-eyed, and she's not moving. She's just frozen. There's no blood on this cat, nothing. And she just, and the minute she realized that door was open, she was gone. We never saw that fucking cat again. One kitten survived that shit, okay? And it was like some Pet Cemetery shit. that cat was like cool and was following us around. And one day we're walking down from the creek, and out of nowhere, this truck just comes, and it, honest to God, looked like somebody threw that fucking cat into the front of this fucking truck, like right in front of me and my brother.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, it was fucking. And like I'm talking about, my mom was like, "Oh, we're not staying here," and like we
Yeah,
we
fuck
we
that,
lived
I'm
in a
out.
hotel for a week.
Yeah, I'm out.
And
I don't know what kind of spray I got to get for this. I need something.
what's really bad is when after that we left, and my dad got that trailer and moved it onto his property, and he lived there. And for the longest time, my dad would make fun of me because, like, up until I was 12, I would run from the living room to my bedroom because I didn't fuck with the dark. Like, I mean, this place is a house of horrors to me.
Right.
One night it's fucking raining. Dad has this security light out there, and so the security light outside, and the light comes in the window, and it's fucking storming its ass off, and you can see the water going down on the reflection, and I look
Right.
up, and there's this big fucking statue, and I'll show you a picture of my grandpa whenever it's done. He used to wear these big, like, amber-colored glasses, and he's just fucking standing there. And my brother got so mad at me when I told him this story, because here I am fucking freaking out. I'm like, look, that's a fucking ghost. And I uncover my brother and cover myself with everything, because we shared a bed. And I covered myself with every piece of clothing, every stuffed animal, and just left him out in the fucking open. Just fuck
For the
this.
ghost to get. Man,
He was like,
my grandpa ghost story is way tamer than that.
so I'm just saying, like, he was a bad man, Your Honor.
I never met my mom's dad. Well, I did, but I was too young to remember it. But every year at Christmas, whenever we would put the Christmas tree up at my grandmother's house, the house would smell like fruit, apples, oranges, bananas, something like that. And it always used to make my mom and my grandma cry, and they never would tell me why until I was a little bit older. And then it was my grandfather, the day that they were putting the Christmas tree up, would come home because they were fucking poor. He would come home and he would bring a bag of fruit, and that's what they would decorate. That's
Yeah.
what they decorate the tree with, was fruit. They could eat it throughout the,
Yeah.
whatever, and then he'd replace it. But every time we'd put the Christmas tree up, it would smell like fruit.
Some
Oranges mainly.
I used to drive my grandmother's car after she passed, and I mean, that woman was, God, that was my buddy. That was my
Blinker
buddy.
used to stay on for no reason.
No. What it was is she used to wear this particular type of perfume,
Right.
and
It's called "Come to Me."
no,
Does
I
it
think
smell
it
like
was
"Come to You"?
John too.
Oh, I like also TOO.
No.
Or
No, I don't know. But anyway, like, I'm sitting in there. I turned the air conditioner on.
very popular for. Never
And
mind.
that
I'm not gonna
big,
say that.
big breath of that fucking perfume. Well, Beth has never met my
Who the
grandma.
fuck is this bitch?
No, and she's like, why does it smell like old woman in here? I was like, I guess it's just Rosie.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the saddest ones, the saddest kind of story is I was living with my cousin, and his mother passed away, and she was a cool lady, awesome person. And he told me when I moved in, he's like, look, I'm just going to let you know, every now and then we don't smoke in the house, but you'll smell cigarette smoke and then Mom's favorite perfume. And he's like, it's just Mom, that's what, and I'm sitting there thinking, whatever you got to think to cope, that's fine. I've never lost my mother, so and so I'm being very cool with it. They're out of town. I'm in this house by myself, okay? I walk in and I smell it. I'm like, oh, what's up, Twinkie? That's what we called her. And I go to my bedroom. Now, we kept a light on, so you can see somebody walking down my hallway, and I hear just this boom, boom, boom coming down the hallway, and I'm like, I guess Garen's home, right? No. All of a sudden, you hear this scratching on my door, and I'm like, oh, nah, player. Like, that's not Antoine. Like, I'm like, that's not right.
Out the window.
Well, no, because we're out in the middle of the fucking woods. You look out my window. I don't have a curtain or anything. It's dark. It is way dark. And I'm like, man, I don't know if it's safer out there than it is in here.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Where's
like,
my
okay.
car?
I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that. So I text a friend of mine. He's a horror movie buff. He's like, you should open the door. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not going out there for nothing. This room was so fucking weird. So I get this girl. Man, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to see her naked forever, And me and her, we were about to get hot and heavy, and we both pass out, just exhaustion. We've been going like it just
The
didn't
carbon
work out.
monoxide from the heater.
Yeah, something like that. So we just I'm talking about we just decided to go to sleep. Anyway, in the middle of the night, you just feel this tugging on the covers. I'm like, oh no, no. So I start doing comedy. My cousin calls me. He's like, Glenn, can you come home? And I went, what? And he goes, that's not my mom. And I'm like, explain. And he tells me that while he's sitting on the chair, this dark shadow walks across the living room, stops in front of him, and then just keeps going, but was standing in the corner. And my cousin's a big dude, and he'd fight a bear. He's strong as a bear. And you could hear it in his voice that he needed me home now.
Now.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I finally get up there, and he is just literally shaking. And I mean, I don't know how to. I've experienced some stuff. I don't think that I'm not going to go up there and be like, I'm sensitive to this shit. I'm just saying, I've seen some wild shit that has freaked me out. I don't play with that shit. I don't talk about it in my house.
Yeah.
I refuse to. My brother, he jokes about the house we live in. He's like, Aaron lives there. And he named it Aaron because that is it's not a.
It's Pat.
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Right. So one night, he's in his bedroom, I'm in my bedroom, and it sounds like somebody drops a fucking bank safe in the house. Just the loud. Everybody comes out of their room. We go, look, there's nothing moved in this fucking house. And he's like, oh, I guess it's Aaron. And I'm like, I guess I'm staying in a fucking hotel.
Yeah, I guess I'm leaving. I guess you're going to have to find somebody else to pay rent.
No, I just don't play that shit.
Yeah.
I don't I get weird about it.
I had a moment in my dad's house. I was going to leave this years ago.
But
was in the bathroom.
I'm not
No,
trying
you're
to
good.
interrupt, but the way you are about with your kids is the same way that's how I approach it. I'm like, I don't listen here, player.
Yeah. Hey, check
only
this
so
out.
much I'm gonna take of this
before I leave. Yeah, because I can't punch you in the throat.
Before you realize, you know the movie Insidious. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I know.
Boy, okay, so, I'm a little bad in movie situations.
Like you get scared at movies?
No.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
No, I'm just like, oh no.
Oh no.
And it'll just come out. And in this one scene, the demon is facing him head on, and I'm like, man, this is a dream world, this is a dream world. I'd fuck him up in a dream world. You don't want, look, motherfucker, you can't take me in my own. I have fucked up nightmares.
Yeah.
I have dreams where I'm, me being naked on stage in front of 5,000 people ain't what I'm afraid of. But if it's a room full of bills, Pennywise would have my number.
There you go. Yeah.
So anyway, but some bitch jumps up on the side, and you just hear me go, oh, fuck that. Really loud, and Beth is like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, you don't understand when he starts defying gravity? That's when you can't fight him anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's a dream world. Yeah, you can. You
Not-
just start defying gravity. Remember, there is no spoon. It's a Matrix reference.
The demon is on the wall. Now, you were saying your dad's house?
Well, first, let me say this. The Ghostbusters phone number is over there on that wall, by the way.
What Ghostbusters phone number?
The Ghostbusters, 555. Where's it at? It's up there. I know it is. I wrote it.
I will look it up.
Yeah, it's over there. It's 555 something. Anyway, because it's a movie phone number. But no, I was at my dad's house, and I had this, really freaky moment where I went to go walk out of the bathroom, and I flushed the toilet, and I go to walk out, and you hear that somebody whistled at me. Hair on the back of my neck stood up. I took the fuck off. I'm out. There's a ghost in there. So the next time I go to the bathroom, I'm freaked the fuck out. I use the bathroom. I flush the toilet. And it does it again. And it freaks me out because I don't know where this whistling is coming from. And it's right next to me. It's clear as day somebody whistling. So I go in the bathroom. And I realize, the float on the toilet's bad. And the little flapper valve, whenever you flush the toilet, it's whistling as water's passing through it, right? But I'm still such a bitch that every time I use the bathroom, I flush it and run out of the bathroom because I can't hear the sound.
So
no ghost, just a shitty toilet.
You know when your friends try to talk you into we're gonna go ghost hunting or some shit like that?
Snipe hunting.
No. This. They go, Glenn. We've been watching Ghost Adventures and shit. We're gonna do it. Now I'm gonna let you know a little a little pleasure of mine. It is a private thing. Nothing makes me happier than watching white people scared shitless on these ghost shows, because they're like, "Oh God, you hear that? Did you see it?
Did you see it? Listen back to it. He's saying, get out.
But I like the ones where they're like, "Oh God," you know, because I would love to film our own one, because I spook easy. And the thing is it would just be, you know, if it's an hour-long show, you got 45 minutes of fucking airtime, it would just be me running through wherever the fuck we are, screaming like a fucking bitch.
Nope, it touched me.
Glenn, did you feel that? No, because I'm in the fucking car. So we go.
You can edit me in and post.
You can just, somebody carry a cardboard cutout of Glenn looking scared shitless, and that's it.
Yeah, we got it.
And so they said, Glenn, we're going to go to this haunted school in Red River Parish.
I know what you're talking about. Out there off of Ellerby?
No.
There's another one?
Yes.
Satan School?
Satan School is a fucking grouchy old man in the middle of a cow pasture, and I got shot in the ass with a fucking
Everybody has.
beanbag.
I know the old man.
That old man
I
shot
know
me
him.
with a fucking beanbag.
I can give
Do you
him
know what it's
first
like?
and last name shout out right now.
No, let's not do
I know
that.
this man.
So look,
personally.
So I get shot in the ass with a beanbag. My fucking ass goes numb. I'm laying in cow shit. They're having to drag me through this cow pasture, and I'm like, "Don't you fuckers leave me! Don't y'all leave me here!" Like, regardless if there's a ghost, there's a guy with a gun, and I have been struck in the ass.
Yep.
That was a big guy. That's a big target.
Yeah.
So we go to this other place, and there's like a storm rolling around in the background, and instantly I'm not liking how far we have to go out to this place. When we get there, these fools decide to tell me that the last time they come out there, the auditorium is filled with black candles. And I'm like, well, that's not good. That's the opposite of what we want. And he goes, and there was a severed cow's head. I'm like, see, this is all shit y'all should have told me before we left Blanchard.
Yeah, before we got in the car.
And I said, well, I'm going to make y'all a deal. I'm going to sit here in this lovely vehicle. Y'all go do whatever spooky shit y'all want to do, right? Because I believe that people that are of the occult, and if this was a place where they're trying to, you know, bring up the devil, they're going to watch this place, and I'm going to just sit out here with this here handgun. That way, I'm not the idiot, because everybody knows the fat guy's going to get killed. Like, who wants Cheetos? And then your ass is fucking God. So, and I said, look, the way this works is I'm going to beep the horn. Beep, beep. If you hear one beep, they got me. If it's two beeps, you have like maybe 7 seconds before I'm leaving you the fuck here. I am not going to be a fucking statistic. So I'm sitting there, and you can see all their flashlights, and they get to the auditorium, and then they're on the second floor, right? And some of them are on the bottom, some of them are on the top. And you get that feeling like somebody's looking at you. So I'm just kind of looking around, being super fucking, this is dumb. We're trespassing.
Right.
Like any minute now, Farmer Bob's going to come out in the mystery machine, and I'm getting weird. I don't know what the fuck it was, but you know, in those videos, like when they go, oh, Satan's coming up, right? And you see fire shoot from the ground. Same thing. Beep, beep. A friend of mine, he knew I wasn't fucking around. He jumped out of the second floor window. He's like, nah, Glenn's gonna fucking leave us.
Glenn's out.
So they all get in there.
And that Dairy Queen's 2 miles away.
We're flying down the road. As we get to the end of the road, this fucking old ratty fucking truck comes onto the road, and he's hauling ass. And I'm like, fucking go. Like, let's go. And I'm like, y'all need to go faster. We're going like 90 down fucking Barksdale now. And I'm like, and this motherfucking old truck is catching us. And I'm like, y'all aren't understanding. Fucking go. He is coming. That old man is going to kill us. Still to this day, I don't know if it was the light of the road or it being dark, but when he drove up beside us, you couldn't make out his face. And I'm like, oh, shoot that son of a bitch. Shoot that motherfucker. Let's see if you can fight with bullets. You want some fire, Scarecrow? Like, I was so fucking mad because I was getting a little hood with it. And I was like, now we got to go. I'll never go fucking do anything like that again.
Nope.
I don't even like to go to the fake haunted shit anymore.
Man, I'd love to put on a fake haunt. I'd love to put on a haunted house.
No,
I know where to do it and everything.
I'm gonna show you some stuff from whenever we used to throw these big fucking Castle Jackson parties.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got a place.
And I was a monster making, like, I can make some fucking shit.
Dude, get you a couple hundred volunteers. I could make us a haunted house. I got the place and everything.
Well, no, I'll show you some of my artwork from whenever we used to. I mean, like, I did a 20-foot tall zombie head for a backdrop behind this. We decorated this entire 5 acres of property, and like it was fucking legit.
Well, let me tell you. So let me tell you this. What you got?
At this one party, I was dressed as Rooster Cogburn.
Okay.
Okay,
Who's that?
he's a True Grit. He had the patch and
Never saw it.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a good man's movie. Anyway, the cops are trying to get us to get on the road. And I said, he's like, y'all aren't obeying the law. And I said, I was drunk as shit. And I said, don't worry about it, sir. I'm a bona fide U.S. Marshal. Because I'm drunk. And anyway, finally they leave, and they're waiting for us to leave, you know. The whole party goes on. People have got naked, bonfires, gasoline. It's great. So in the middle of the night, I'm just stumbling around this pond that's on the property. And all of a sudden, I hear this little light voice. And he's like, help me. And I look down, and it is this half-frozen child. Like, he's like 16, 17. He's not supposed to be at our party.
Okay.
He's not supposed to be at our party. But his plan was his friends left him, and he was going to swim across the pond so they couldn't leave him. So he took all of his clothes off because he watched, like, Survivor Man or something.
Right.
And he goes swimming across the pond, realizes that it's 30 fucking degrees outside, comes back, and apparently is dying of hypothermia.
Right.
So all of a sudden, out of the darkness, you have me in a fucking cowboy duster, cowboy boots, a patch, a fucking hat, big old cigar hanging out of my mouth, and I walk up with this naked person in my hand, and like my friends were like, what did you do? And I'm like, I saved him. And I dropped him by this fire, and I'm like, that boy almost died. And the guy's like, I'm so fucking cold. And I'm like, but at that point I was so drunk, but he lived.
Oh,
But
good. Glad the story has a happy ending.
it was so funny though, 'cause I'm like, what? Okay.
Man.
I'm sorry, I've been talking off the rails.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Halloween.
Oh, Halloween's my favorite time of the year.
I'll take you to the place where I want to do the haunted house, and you tell me if it's a good spot or not. And I got a great idea for the ending of it, like when you're done and you're about to exit the haunted house.
Yeah.
How you should exit. I've got a fantastic idea about that. So I don't know if I should say it on air. Well, I'll say it. So you scare them up this stairwell and out.
So they have to go up to get out?
Oh, up and down. They got to go up. They got to go down to get in, up to get out.
How fucked up was your childhood?
Not at all. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fantastic. No
So
worries.
let's talk about this going up.
Well, hold on a second. You run them up and out this door, and I say up because of this particular spot that I want to do it at. But you get them out, and this particular doorway opens to a gigantic room. If I had to guess, it's probably 50 foot by 100 foot, and it's all tile.
Oh.
And the drop tile ceiling is like falling in some spots. The grid is missing in some spots, and you just have like 75 or 100 extras out there that are zombies, but they don't move. You dump them out into the room, and they stop, and they're in a room full, and they have to walk out
Through this.
horde of zombies.
Oh.
And
Now-
they're just, looking at you.
They don't jump at you?
Well, if you made too big of a noise, they would.
Oh, okay.
But if you-
so it's like you
Yeah,
get caught
because it'd be one of those things where your fight or flight would kick in when you come out of the room and you want to be quiet, trying to sneak through them.
So you'd have to do like 5 people, otherwise you'd make a stampede.
What do you mean? They don't all have to.
No, I'm saying like 5 at a time. You know how?
Yeah.
You don't want to.
You don't want
a
it'd
group
be like
of
the
20.
groups. It'd be like the groups now, because don't they do you now? Like
Yeah,
groups
like
3 or 5,
3 or
something
5.
like that.
Yeah. 'Cause
No, dude, but the place, the place in particular, they filmed part of the most recent Chainsaw Massacre there.
Oh, okay.
And this fucking place is scary as fuck. Dude that tried to call me when we first started recording, when I didn't have my phone turned off, when we were down there, I took him to go see this basement that I'm talking about. And in one of the rooms, there's not a water leak, but the pump doesn't work anymore and doesn't drain the water out of the room.
Yeah.
So it's got like, I don't know, 12 inches of water in it, right? The entire room.
Yeah.
Well, when you walk into the room, you're on a platform and you have to step down. It's like an old boiler room that's not in use anymore.
Right.
And when you walk in there, the water is still. So it's like glass. So it just looks like the floor is wet.
Right.
This guy that was working for me, I took him down there to show it because he had heard about it. So I took him down there to show it to him. And he was standing up on that platform, and he just stepped off like the floor was 2 feet away from him instead of 3 feet. And this motherfucker falls in to a foot deep of the nastiest water that you can imagine with his cell phone in his hand because he was using this flashlight. Ha! 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 Dude, it's to this day, that basement is one of the funniest moments. But us talking about that basement is what made me think about that.
So, have you ever heard of Keecha?
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
I know where Keechee, Louisiana is.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is they used to do like a the firefighters or some shit would do like a haunted house and fall festival. Okay, so look, me and my brother are like 7 and 8, right? My mom's like, well, you know what would be more fun is to scare the shit out of them. We'll go to a haunted house. And when you get in the first part, it's the standard, you know, it's spaghetti for worms, you know, eyeballs.
And this
shit.
is also, how old were you?
I was like 7 or 8.
So this is like 92.
Yeah.
You fucking youngin'.
You're only 4 years older than
Yeah, but I mean, I was doing haunted houses in the 80s when they
Okay.
were really cheesy.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you right now, this one took a turn for fucked up.
Back before the Terminator was
This
a
is back
haunted
before
house
PETA
idea.
was a thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
all right.
So,
Interested?
so they're jumping out, and it's like, you know, so then all of a sudden you go into this fucking room, right? And it's like a butcher's area, and then the guy comes out, and he's got a fucking chainsaw, and the problem is the cow is alive, not animatronic. It is a real fucking cow, like a real fucking cow, and that is a real fucking chainsaw
With a real blade on it?
with a real fucking blade on it.
All right.
And he starts cutting this live fucking cow to pieces.
Oh, man.
There
You
is-
didn't know they were at a butcher shop?
There is blood and shit everywhere. Well, I mean, you think about it. We were little. Me and my brother are fucking horrified. Like, this is... You hear this fucking... And it's just fucking terrible. My mom's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, my mom, who she wasn't cussing in front of us at the time. She was trying to be good with the Lord, but she's
In
losing.
that moment, it came out.
She is losing
Yeah.
her shit.
Guy's cutting a cow's head
She's
off.
trying to grab us, and like fucking blood everywhere. And then the only way out of this fucking place was this: you had to crawl up into like this air conditioned vent to get out. And it's the first time when I was like, what, 7 or 8 or something like that. It's the first time I ever fucking cussed.
Yeah.
Is they go,
Fuck this shit, Mom. Let's
No.
get the fuck out of here.
no, like, well, I mean, I learned from really good people how to cuss, but all of a sudden the guy's like, you got to crawl up there. And I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. And my mom looked
Where's
at me.
the door?
I was like, where's the safe way out of here? And he's like, you got to go back the way you came. And my mom's like, all of a sudden my mom went like super bitch. You're going to let us the fuck out of here.
Right this way, ma'am.
Like,
Sorry about that.
It was horrifying.
So, did they really cut up a cow, or is
Yes.
that your little brain telling you they cut up a cow?
No. I asked my mom if that shit was legit. And she said that when she saw them leading the cow from the pasture, she had no idea. And it was more than one cow.
Yeah.
But they were donating the cows to, charities.
Dude, that's delightful. That's great. You know, me as a dad, I'd been like, oh, shit, trying to gather up my kids and gather up a couple of steaks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
just letting you know.
Can I get some of that
It
tenderloin?
was so fucking terrifying. Like, it was so...
That's great.
No.
Gotta love the 80s before OSHA got involved in everything,
I'm
right?
just telling you right now, like,
Well, that would have been the 90s. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
hell, it could have been. I mean, we were small. It could have been.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you right now, when that's your first haunted house experience, that's the worst fucking thing you can do to a kid.
I remember doing haunted houses out at the C. Bickham-Dixon Park.
Oh, yeah?
The hay ride. They pull you behind a little tractor with hay. It's cheesy as shit. People just jump out of the woods. I remember this kid grabbed me one time. We were in, like, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. This kid grabbed me one time, and I elbowed him in the mouth, and it was a friend of mine trying to say hey.
We were at the
I didn't realize.
we were at the corn maze,
Yeah.
and a friend of mine, he stuttered real bad.
Did he now?
Yeah, real bad. But he had a fucking clown phobia. And we're sitting there, and this guy comes around. He's like, and he gets on all fours. And Zach didn't stutter that time. He did
Yeah.
this. He goes, I don't fucking like clowns. I don't do them. And the guy's like, and he all of a sudden he comes crawling on all fours. Zach fucking cold cocked this son of a bitch. He hits the ground. He said, I don't like fucking clowns. And I'm like, well, great. We just paid $25 to get the fuck out of here.
Paid $25 for a one-round. Now I know how everybody felt with the Tyson Holyfield fight when he bit his ear off. This is a waste.
I actually watched on Joe Rogan when they were talking to Holyfield. And he's like, so what went through your head? And he talked about how when he got to the locker room, yeah, he was real pissed off. But by the time he was leaving the locker room.
Do you hear that?
What?
What is that? It's got to be the neighbor. All right,
Anyway, by the time he left, he said that was just a thing where he knew he had to forgive him.
Yeah, I watched it. It was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's just.
I've got a forgiveness tattoo. I had to learn forgiveness the hard way too.
Well, I think that I've only had one time, like I guess with my mom, because like I said, I had a rough childhood, and I had to you learn unconditional love and forgiveness and all that stuff. But it took me a long. Like I got one night, I was in a car and a guy ran me head on into the wall, and that happens.
Right.
You know.
You're
And
talking about when you were racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the car went up in the air, I heard him gas on it underneath my car. So I knew that he was intentionally trying to flip me the fuck over.
Right.
And like that right there, that was really hard for me to forgive, because it's like I understand we're in the heat of the moment, but now
It's not a video game, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean my head hit the fucking roll cage. I got knocked the fuck out. When I landed, I lifted my head. The car's on fucking fire. And I gas on it, which puts the fire out, but I don't have a fucking tire. And everybody's like, Glenn, calm down. And I'm like, no. So then he told everybody my fat ass got what I deserved, which only made my not forgiving factor. And I walked up to his dad. I'm like, how long have we been fucking friends? He's like, I don't know, 14 years. I'm like, tell your son if he tells anybody else that I fucking deserved it, I'm going to knock every fucking tooth out of his goddamn head. Because, I mean, if I really deserved it. Anyway, but my dad made me laugh because my dad, like, tries to distract me with fucking funny, and he's like, now, Glenn, don't go over there. You know how the Lord frowns upon you beating up on special kids.
That's right.
Like, he ain't right. I've always been a little bit, shy of a fucking toolbox. Like, don't go. I'm sitting there trying not to giggle. My dad never tried to scare us with that shit. The only thing my dad ever did that I think you would appreciate, because I want you to do this. This is something that I think you would do to your kids, because it's funny. So it's my 16th birthday, and my dad goes, yep. 16 years old. You know what you get? You're going to get a lap dance, son. We're going to take you over to Chunky Cheese, and old Chunky's going to give you a lap dance.
There you
go. And so he's driving me around constantly, telling me how old Chunky is going.
Old Chunky.
He said, Chunky's fine underneath that mouse. You can't really tell that she look good. And he goes, but old Chunky starts throwing that mouse tail on you, and then she gets down. And he's got this whole story. I'm horrified that we're really about to do this.
Some strip club. What does Thompson girl call it? Beef?
But it was just like Chunky Cheese. We didn't really get into conspiracies in this hour.
No, we'll have to do that next time.
But, hey, look, like, comment, subscribe, notifications, all that other jazz. We're pushing for these notifications.
Pushing for the notifications of subscribers. We need the subscribers.
And make the comments. I told you about the finger. If y'all got something y'all want to talk about and y'all want us to
talk about it.
Let's get it out in the open.
We talked about it. I was talking
your
about
forgiveness tattoo?
My forgiveness tattoo. You ever heard of the 70 times 7 reference?
No.
It's a biblical thing. It's a Bible thing from what I was told. And it's how many times do you forgive somebody? It's 70 times 7. So
right.
It's supposed to signify basically an endless amount.
Right.
I know 70 times 7 is not an endless amount, but
I get what you're saying.
What you're supposed to do. So I had it tattooed on me with the date, the day that I figured that shit out.
Yeah.
That's why I've been living the way I've been living.
Well, that's why I got Frankenstein tattooed on my chest, was forgiving people and getting over all that shit I had to go through. I got bullied real bad, but...
Yeah. I didn't get bullied real bad. I just had a...
Well, no, I mean, look at
I just had a bad situation that I had to figure out how to deal with. And
well,
tattoos were one of the ways I dealt with it. Because it's a way to feel pain, but not get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like a big fan of like sitting there and smacking my tattoos.
Yeah.
My kids, that was one of their favorite things to do. Anytime I get a new tattoo, they like to smack it. And I told them that just smack the shit out of it. It sets the tattoo out. It won't ever come out now. But they'll slap the shit out of it, and it hurts like a motherfucker. But I love it. I don't know why.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I gauged my own ears.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it hurt like a fucking
framing nail. Ah!
Yeah. God.
Yeah,
everybody's stupid. Like, why'd you do it? I don't think it's stupid. I mean,
Why'd you do it?
well, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of like with you getting hit when the tattoo.
Way to feel pain without
Yeah,
getting hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt in the sense of, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my ear. But anyway,
It hurt.
it's just like fucking, you're sticking
And
a fucking
don't get me
nail
wrong, I
through-
was burping. I didn't want to burp in the mic.
Yeah, I
I'm
hear
not
you.
going, oh my
Oh,
goodness,
God,
he's still
what a
talking.
loser.
Oh God, Glenn's
Oh,
talking
Jesus.
again. All right, well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. We're at hour 5. So anything? We got Molly coming up.
Molly's coming up. Jordan's coming up. Tyler Blanchard, Scooby.
We're gonna get. He's an open micer, but Mickey Moses
On
gonna get him
November
on here.
1st, coming up, we got Opossum, Where Art Thou, with
Yep.
Jared Phillips and Ruben Wright. They're
Yeah, I'm
going to sing a
excited about that
song,
one.
and
yeah,
they're
that's
going to
gonna be
sing
cool.
a
I
song.
get to play with some more equipment.
Yeah, and they're
Figure
going
out how to
to
make that shit work right.
they're going to come on. Of course, me and you've always been talking about that we've both made our fair share of frenemies
Yeah.
that we would love to have on this podcast. And like I said, comments, guys. Y'all throw out what you want us to talk about. If you got a
Please.
suggestion, if you think that Johnny looks really fluffy with that face, we'll try to work on it.
Yeah, I have been working on it, so we'll see what happens.
But anyway,
But yeah, this is a fluffy face now that I've looked up there. I did get my beard cut the other day, which made me, look 10 pounds lighter.
well, from the first podcast, did you go to the same barber?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Charles, my man. That's my dude, man. He's been cutting my hair for a few years now. I won't, I remember these old, master cuts, haircuts. And,
Oh, yeah.
Sport Clips haircuts. And I can't do it no more.
Well-
I had a woman at Sport Clips one time. I told her, I was like, short on the side and blended in. And she was like, all right. And she's talking to me.
Mhm.
And she's got me turned from the mirror where I can't see the mirror. But I can feel her,
getting a little too.
no.
Oh,
No. With the clippers.
Yeah.
Up here. And I'm like, man, what in the fuck? And I finally turned. And I got this strip of hair that's like an inch wide, inch and a half wide, full length
oh shit.
down the center of my head. And I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, well, you said blended in and then, or short on the side, and she walked off.
Oh man.
And I was like, what in the fuck is going on here? So I'm like, I'm pissed. So I walk up to the front counter, and the woman's like, she doesn't look at me. She doesn't say nothing. She just tells me, it's going to be $15.95 plus tax, whatever. And I'm like, excuse the fuck out of me.
How about we fix this?
And she
fucking
looks
hair?
at me, and I was like, look, I'm going to pay for my haircut because I'm going to pay for my haircut. But this is fucked up.
Y'all
Do you see this? And she's like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, get them clippers out and finish this shit off. Because fortunately, I can
Yeah.
pull off having a shaved head.
Right.
And she was like, who did it? And I told her who it was, and she was like, that bitch just told me she was going to get something to eat, that she was going on break. This bitch fucked my hair up
And
and then
left.
just went to Strawn's.
I get whenever I go in.
She said, I need an ice box pie after this shit.
If I don't know the person who cuts my hair, I'm like, I need the angry lesbian.
Did I ever tell you about
that's how I get my hair cut. I get the faux hawk short on the side.
Oh, that's the haircut you need,
yeah.
is the angry
I'm
lesbian.
gonna need the
I can
angry
see that.
lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, right now it's grown out, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna need the daddy's disappointment.
There you go. I had a guy one time that was cutting my hair. I was going out of town, and I needed to get it because it was thick, and I needed to get it cut. And this guy, I go to Master Cuts in the mall, I think is what the name of it was, St. Vincent Mall.
Mhm.
And I'm the first one there. This guy opens the
Yeah.
roll-up gate. I'm standing there waiting, and I sign my name, and it's just me and this dude, right? And he's really soft and sweet, and he's like, come on, let's cut your hair. So we sit down, and I look up, and his hands are just
Shake.
trembling.
No. Not
And
you,
I'm like,
buddy.
hey, man, what's going on back there? And he was like, can I be honest with you? And I
You're
was
my
like,
first
what? He
cut.
was like, you're my first haircut ever. And I'm like,
No,
oh,
I'm
shit.
not.
He was like, I did nails and, and makeup and stuff in cosmetology school. So I kind of just lied to get this job because I really need a job. And I was like, all right. He said, I know what to do. I've only done it on mannequins. You're the first person I've ever actually cut their hair. And I was like, I can live with that. And I was like, so just, do a good job. Tell him what I want. And he goes to start cutting my hair, and his hands are still fucking trembling. And I said, Chief, I'm going to tell you something. You can shave my head if you mess up my haircut. It's not a problem. You cut my fucking ear off, we have a big-ass problem.
Right.
And he was like, can we just go ahead and shave it? I was like, fucking just shave it. Let's go. And I didn't even fuck around with it.
Damn, there you go.
All right.
All right.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up. We do appreciate
That is
it.
the second time you've said it.
Yeah, well, it's the way it happens sometimes. We're going to wrap this up. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please, again, like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Send us emails. Put us
Twitter,
comments.
Facebook,
Twitter, Facebook, whole 9
Instagram,
yards.
Yeah.
My podcast, His Man Cave, episode number 6.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Out.
Thank y'all again. We're out. Bye, Danny.